SoundOff, Louisiana's premier television sports talk show, is on deck from the Caesars Sportsbook at Horseshoe Lake Charles. The three wise guys are mic'd up and ready. SoundOff begins now.
Another chaotic weekend in football to cover, but we're calm and cool here at Caesars Sportsbook, our new home for SoundOff. Glad to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
Week number 2 right here. We're getting all settled in. We're loving the digs and we're comfortable, right?
Getting that live.
It's been good. I mean, the weeks, everything's been going good.
We're driving.
I have no complaints.
Week number 2 here. You should know us by now. We've been doing this 30 years across the region.
Yes, we have.
That would be Kevin Guidry, the survivor of the heart-stopping overtime win, LSU
What
over
a
Ole
game.
Miss. That's coming.
What a game.
In the middle, of course, Scooter Hobbs, and the only calm and real sane one of the group is Rick Serro. That's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I proclaim myself as being the only sane one in the group here.
Maybe by
All right.
comparison.
I'm going to get a little crazy.
It is debatable. All right, look, the agenda is short and sweet. LSU football, right? All right. Saints football.
Heck of a game.
Oh.
One of the worst.
McNeese football.
Saints should be embarrassed.
Oh, we'll get into that.
McNeese has been embarrassed for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they're in the open date.
Yeah.
We'll talk a
Yeah.
little bit about the state of the SEC as well. All right, let's begin with the thriller in Tiger Town.
What a game.
Look, their
Rick.
first lead was the overtime winning touchdown.
That was
Talk
the first
about
lead
a
of the
game.
game.
So did they ever lead during the game? That is my technical question. Because the minute he caught the ball, the game was over.
That's a good point, Scooter. Did LSU ever lead?
I guess they didn't. If you
I
want to
guess
get,
he always got to find
that's
a bad
that's
spot.
the finer
Scooter,
point.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's
But
getting
what
into
you
the
say-
fine
but
print.
what you
But you're
say
right
makes
about
a
it.
lot of sense, Scooter.
All right, look, it wasn't like last year. It wasn't an offensive shootout.
No,
look,
it was a
guys,
shootout last year.
My brain of this game is all centered on defense.
Rick, you know
Where
what?
did that performance come from? Because it was the best of the year.
You know,
Best of the
statistically, it wasn't that great.
It's
but
the best of the year.
No question.
Yeah.
You had to read between the lines. For one thing, that's the best offense they've played.
Exactly.
Better, I think, than Southern Cal.
Yes.
That's the best
I agree.
offense they've played. And they came up with plays when they had
When
to.
they had to.
So that's
You had, as a former defensive player, you had to be impressed with Braylon Swinson, who has turned into the new number 4 beast,
He's a terror.
and Whit Weeks with 18. Was it
Whit
18
Weeks, 18
tackles?
had
he
18
is
tackles.
a tackling machine.
18 tackles.
You had to be impressed
And
by
you know,
that.
let me say this. I had a chance to speak with Corey Raymond before the game, but let me say this, guys.
You bugging assistant coaches before the game? Corey worried about
Corey and
that
I only
secondary.
played together. We only played together, Scooter. You know what I mean? We
Gives
only
him some
played
inside
together.
scoop. Go
Look,
ahead.
what I'm saying is this. He said, Kevin, we got to find our best 4 to put out there. He said the rotation and all that stuff, we're going to cut back on it. And they did. They did. They found their best 4, Rick, and they said, we're going with them.
Okay.
And let me tell you something, Rick, you can see the difference it made when guys that know each other play together.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
I agree with
That's
you.
the difference.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was so excited to see the tackling on the perimeter was much better.
Yeah.
Was much better. Guys, when you can tackle in open field, it helps the entire defense.
That was the biggest difference I saw.
Scooter, it does.
You know stuff about how they line up here and everything. To me, they tackled much better.
That was the
than
game
I've seen them
changer.
in the last 2 years.
Scooter, I totally agree. That was the game
I think
changer.
in my mind, from what I saw, the only really kink or ding on the defense was a little bit of Ole Miss, going up the middle and then breaking containment a few times. But I'm getting really nitpicky here. I really am.
But you know, Rick, when you look at Ole
Pretty
Miss,
good offense.
Ole Miss is not a bad offense.
Very
and
good.
I mean, you've got a coach that will go for the juggler. I mean, Rick, there's no fear in him. And I mean, that's the fear that other coaches face when they face him.
The young man from Lafayette, Trey Harris. I don't know where I was, but I missed the play.
He wasn't the number 1 receiver on that team.
Oh,
Rick.
well,
He
I know
wasn't-
that, but he's coming off of
Yeah.
being a little banged up. But did he not miss a wide open?
He
That would have
did.
been a
He
score.
dropped
Like first
He dropped
play
it.
of the
I know, I
game.
missed it.
He
I must
dropped
have
it,
turned
Rick.
my head or
He dropped
something.
it.
He
Yeah.
So
was
that was a
but
huge
that
break for
was,
LSU.
and I'm thinking, whoa, this is going to be a long night.
Yeah.
And but that was the only really broken coverage I remember.
I know.
Blatant anyway.
Yeah.
This was a much we've debated. This was a much maligned secondary.
Yeah.
As he
Rightfully
just
so.
stated, and rightfully so. But man, they've got it
Because
together.
Yeah.
their defensive front got a lot better early in the year. You know, they had already made progress there.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
But the secondary had to come around.
But the credit, Rick, that I want to give, man, is going to be, again, to the defense, because sometimes when they're bad, and we use them like piñatas sometimes.
Yeah.
But look, the offense wasn't that great at first.
Oh, we'll get into that in the next segment.
Credit my defense, Scooter, for holding on, man, for as long as they did, man, until the offense came around.
Here's the deal. Brian Kelly has talked all year about complementary football.
Yeah.
And that's where one hand washes the other.
I agree.
Basically.
I agree.
And that happened Saturday. You ever thought you'd be saying LSU's defense kept them in the game for a half or so?
You're right.
This was a defensive win, gentlemen.
It was.
This was a defensive win for LSU.
And I'm proud of my guys, man. That's why I'm just sitting here like, because normally y'all be taking shots at me like, Kevin, oh, God, what about the defense? What about the secondary? I mean, guys, we had a W for the defense this week. I'm sorry.
Swinson, number 4, ironically, the old number of Harold Perkins, right?
Perkins number.
Coming off the edge. Now, he's not a linebacker. He's a defensive end guy.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he just had Jackson Dart in that bullseye.
He was coming.
He had at least 3 sacks.
He was like a man.
And a lot of hurries.
Two sacks.
2 sacks?
I think, but
He was impressive.
he was SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
man, if you get that consistently.
I'm telling you, Rick, what?
The way the league is like still muttering about.
Look.
And Weeks was Defensive Player of the Week.
Yeah.
I mean, 18 tackles, that's a lot of tackles, man.
Offensive Player of the Week.
Was he
That's
really?
What he said was one of his worst games.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in the next
Yeah.
segment.
Yeah.
Guys, this is an LSU team now in the top 10. Number
We are.
8.
It's about time,
AP.
Rick. You know what?
They're going to get more attention. And, look, it's what we do here, right? The 12-team playoff. Now, clearly they're in this conversation.
They
now.
are. And look.
But, I mean, there's a lot.
I know there's a lot. I know there's
a lot more football left, Rick. You know what? But
I'm
didn't
not
we say?
totally convinced yet.
I'm
getting
holding that
there,
school.
man.
But didn't we say, Rick, that this game would determine either both teams as to what
You
happens?
said that
last
week.
I
Losers
said it.
out.
And look, Ole Miss.
Losers out.
Woo!
I think that's probably right.
Woo!
Could be. I'm going to tell you what's not a loser. You got to be a winner when you go to Max Bar and Grill on the top floor of the National in Westlake. The Max is your Louisiana favorites like fresh seafood, po' boys, gumbo, and all, and of course, fantastic burgers and more. The bar is great for winding down with friends and family as well. Open 7 days a week. Weekend brunches to enjoy as well at the Max in Westlake.
It is good. The Miller Lights win the big game.
You're right, Luke. Miller Lite is less filling
And tastes great.
Wait, is this a dream?
No, Luke. This is a Miller Lite commercial.
What are you doing with the Johnson sofa?
They had a pipe break. Water leaked all over.
Really?
I'm a Roto-Rooter plumber.
Really?
We do water cleanup, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all. Plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup.
Now's the perfect time to enjoy your amazing backyard. Unless you have a mosquito problem, contact the experts at J&J Exterminating and take advantage of $50 off initial service. Make this summer the best ever with J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
We're back. Glad to have you with us here at SoundOff in our new broadcast home with the Caesars Sportsbook, Horseshoe Lake Charles. The new digs, of course. Caesars Sportsbook, open Monday through Thursday, 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, Caesars Sportsbook, and Friday through Sunday, 9 o'clock to 10 a.m. 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock, Monday through Thursday, in that 9 o'clock hour when you get ready for the weekend, right? Because why? Everything's going on the weekend.
Everything.
You can catch all the live action, as you can kind of see it behind us here at the Caesars Sportsbook patio. All the live action you need, and if you're hungry, Brews Brothers right next door.
They got some great food, Rick.
Oh my gosh.
We've eaten there a
all
number of
right
times.
here at Horseshoe Lake Charles. All right, huge show next week. Huge show.
Yes,
you
we
cannot
do.
miss it because it's
Can't
our
miss
first
it.
crack at preseason basketball with McNeese basketball
We'll
coach
have
Will
it.
Wade will be here at Caesars
Yes, we
Sportsbook.
will.
We'll get into in-depth. Another historic moment for McNeese basketball. They picked up votes preseason for the national AP Top 25 poll. They didn't
surprised?
crack the poll.
Are you surprised? Now, come on, Rick.
I'm not surprised. They picked up some votes.
You got it. You're not
Pardon?
surprised at
That
that.
happened last year.
Preseason.
But not in the preseason.
Preseason poll. Preseason poll. They're coming off a 30-4 season.
That is significant.
And I'm telling you,
30-4.
this
Come
team
on,
looks
man.
better than what they had
do.
last
They
year.
do, Rick.
We'll wait next week.
They honestly do, man.
Right here on SoundOff. That's going to be fun. All right, here we go. Are you ready for another one of the Cerro Super Hype Bowl statements? Are you ready?
I'm ready
Here
for
it is.
Go ahead.
This Brian Kelly win over Ole Miss is second only to the Alabama win in year one. It's his biggest win, second only to Alabama. This is how big that win was.
The Alabama win
Right or
was
wrong?
big. The Alabama win was big,
It's
too.
second to Alabama.
Okay,
Both
second.
overtime.
Okay.
Top 10 team.
Okay.
Ole Miss
Yeah.
was number 9
I
at the
agree with
time.
that, Rick.
Come on,
I
Hobbs.
agree with that.
Well, I mean, it was.
Give me another one.
There may be another one. but
I
it would
can't
only-
think of it.
It
I don't
would
think
only
so.
tie.
No, I think it was, Rick. You're right. I
In
give you that.
his short tenure, I'm saying.
Yeah.
2.5 years.
Do you guys,
So,
you know what?
Let me ask you two guys. What did y'all think of the wristband light show?
I loved
Loved it.
Well, the wife loved
Loved
it.
it.
Hey, everybody else loved it. I mean,
Yeah, it was.
what was
It
your thoughts?
wasn't-
What was your thoughts on it?
It looked more like something you'd see at a concert.
Nothing
than
wrong
a
with that.
football game. Okay.
Yeah, but what about?
I
No,
wasn't
loved
being
it.
the grumpy old fart.
No,
I'm
not going to let you be the grumpy old fuck.
I didn't go like this.
Oh,
No, I didn't either.
Look.
I didn't either.
Granted, the guys, the tech guys with the lights. I mean, how many people you know can turn off the lights in the stadium and cut them back on? That's pretty
It was,
impressive, don't you
you
think
know,
so?
it was a great atmosphere.
I mean, I think that's
You know,
pretty
when I
impressive
get
to
near
cut them off
technology, I
and cut
get
them back
ahead.
on.
Great atmosphere.
I mean, that's pretty
You know,
impressive,
you know
man.
what it made me think of? What was that movie back in the 70s and 80s where everybody would go and they would, during the movie, they'd be doing Bic lighters.
I don't know. I didn't.
In
I
a
didn't,
movie
I
theater?
didn't, I didn't
I don't
smoke
know.
pot or do
Yeah.
drugs. I don't know what he's talking
It
about.
was.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking.
In a movie?
You could cut a
You
big
can't
lighter
do a
on in a
lighter
movie.
in a movie?
You
Yeah,
can't do that in
it
a
was
movie. That's a
this-
non-smoking
it was
place,
this
Scooter.
movie. What was it?
You mean a drive-in?
No.
Oh my God.
Pulp Fiction? I don't know.
Let's
What
get
was that
on.
about?
Let me
I
tell you.
have
Let
no
me tell you
idea.
something. I'm not around this guy at LSU games once in a blue moon. This man, my colleague, he is like the sky is falling when LSU doesn't get a first down. All game, the game's over. I can't take it anymore, and they're only down by one score.
Look.
Guidry, have a little faith.
Rick,
Can I interrupt?
the sky
I
is
gotta
falling.
tell y'all one of my stories.
Make it quick.
This was, I think it was the last time LSU
Oh,
made the
man.
Final Four. And I think the Elite Eight game was in Atlanta, I guess it was. And I'm sitting there, and there's an empty seat next to me on press row.
Okay.
Well, who comes and sits next to me but Skip Bertman, who was
Oh,
AD
wow.
at the time.
Okay.
You know, I think LSU was playing Texas,
Okay.
if I
Really?
remember right, and it got them to the Final Four. You know,
Oh,
Skip
wow.
Bertman, who teaches the power of positive thinking
Yeah.
and, you know,
Yeah.
dream
Oh,
it,
Skip,
right.
imagine it.
Yeah.
Skip is sitting next to me watching his basketball team play. Oh, we're not good enough. They're too good for us. They're too good for us. I'm like,
No
Come
faith.
on now, Skip.
No faith.
settle down.
No faith.
Look.
All right,
What do you
here's where you have to have faith. The swagger and confidence of quarterback Garrett Nussmeier wasn't his finest hour.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't his finest 4.5 hours. But when he needed to make throws, gentlemen, in the fourth quarter, those were some NFL throws.
Kelly, well, that throw for the Tide touchdown.
Oh my God!
That's
that
the
was-
best throw he's made.
Yeah.
Andre
And
Anderson.
LSU.
I'm
He
telling
wasn't
you,
even
fourth
there.
and
He
five.
wasn't in
When
the
he
spot.
threw that ball,
wasn't there.
Anderson hadn't even
Yeah,
turned
I
around.
know.
That's my point, Scooter. He wasn't even there.
But you notice what Kelly says. One of Nussmeier's great traits, I guess, for a quarterback. He can make a mistake and flush it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
It's
have to.
gone.
Oh, yeah, no,
Doesn't bother.
You have to,
Now,
Scooter.
One thing you got to remember with Nussmeier, I mean, he learns, gets better,
Mm-hmm.
but he's going to have some interceptions.
That's okay. When and where?
You know.
When and
We
where?
want to keep that number low, though, Scooter.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that I noticed.
And keep in mind, you know what Ole Miss is, you noticed it, of course. You know what Ole Miss is, Ole Miss led the country in sacks and didn't have a sack.
Didn't have one.
You know why? They were dropping 15 people.
But that's still a great pass blocking offense.
Oh, yes,
it was.
But Ole Miss was, it seemed like all night long.
That's a good point.
But they were dropping,
Scooter,
a dozen people. Yeah. It was hard to get over.
You're right.
Yeah, but Scooter was right in that. But this is the thing that I want Nuss to understand, and he's got the ability to do. If the run presents itself, take it.
Take it. He did it one time. Yeah.
Take it.
I don't know.
There were a number of plays to where he threw into coverage. You could have run for 10 yards. You've got to understand that the system doesn't always give you those throws.
Take it if it's there.
Take it.
But they need him to get down.
Well, Joe Sloan.
You don't want him taking on linebacker.
This game was crazy. Ole Miss in overtime, there for 57-yarder. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
57-yard field goal, they make it.
Same guy missed a 40-yarder.
40-yarder, yeah.
But Sloan didn't, what? LSU first possession?
Yeah.
Goes for the pylon throw to Kyron Lacey.
That's at
Bam.
least,
It's game over.
3 or 4 LSU overtime games I've covered where LSU scored on one play.
Right there.
Yeah.
Damn.
But let me tell you something.
Take it.
No.
Take it. Hold that thought.
I'll hold it, Ricky.
When we come back, you can turn that helmet upside down if you want to.
God, I'll spin it.
Spin it around. We're talking Saints.
We have no idea what's going on with the Saints.
I don't know what's going on. We're coming back to Caesar Sportsbook in just a bit. Stay right there.
Hey, mister, are you a Roto-Rooter plumber?
Guilty.
Did you fix what flooded my house?
Sure did.
Toilet overflow?
Nope.
Pipe break?
Getting warmer.
Busted water heater?
Nailed it.
How long can you hold your breath? Is that your real hair? What's the birds and the bees? Do you know where my grandma is?
You know, I don't know.
What's next?
Wrapping up the water cleanup.
You do that too?
We do both.
Fair enough.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup. Yeah, we do both.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all. Plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup.
I love being an adult because bringing a fruit platter to a party takes on a whole new meaning. Don't tell anyone it's store-bought. Simply Spiked. It's getting juicy.
What's bugging you?
Is it ants? They're crazy, tiny, irritating pests outside trying to get in. At J&J, we offer weapons to locate, eliminate, and prevent their entering your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Contact us today for a free inspection.
It's good. The Miller Lights win the big game.
You're right, Luke. Miller Lite is less filling and tastes great.
Wait, is this a dream?
No, Luke. This is Miller Lite commercial.
We're back at Caesar Sportsbook at Horseshoe Lake Charles. Hey, remember to sign up for the Caesar Sportsbook rewards card.
Yes.
If you put and the app, don't forget about the app.
It's all there.
You place a $500 wager at Caesar Sportsbook. You get an exclusive Houston Texans polo shirt.
Wow.
Exclusive. It's got to be super special.
That
you
is.
can go into your sports closet and attire. You can get that. And the Texans are still running roughshod.
They are.
In the AFC South
They better
with
watch
CJ
out,
Stroud.
man.
So you can do that and more. And you can have all the bets you want right here at Caesar Sportsbook. All right. It was fun while it lasted.
I don't know, Rick. I'm
It was
going
fun
to let
while
you
it
have this.
lasted.
I'm going
2-0,
to let you have it.
4 straight losses.
I'm going to let you. I'm going to let you have it, Rick.
I'll hold it. I don't know, guys.
Rick. Oh my goodness.
I mean, they gave
That should be embarrassing.
the calling card of Dennis Allen, the calling card of this team with him as DC and head coach most of the time has been defense. The defense is now their Achilles heel. They gave up nearly 600 yards, a record against this team at home. I don't know, 51 points to the Bucks. They're okay. They're not that good.
Rick.
This thing went into the toilet in
You
the
know
second
the really
half.
sad thing? There was
4 straight losses.
There was a certain, at least for 3 quarters, there was some effort there.
I didn't see it on offense.
I didn't see it.
On defense, rather. I don't know what you're looking at.
I didn't see it.
How can you find that many guys and sign them to an NFL contract when they can't tackle?
He
Can
called it.
anybody on that team tackle? This is the creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme, as they say.
From Pop Warner leagues.
You
through
said it
That's
2
your best.
weeks
middle
ago.
school,
That's
high
your
school.
best.
Tackling is a lost art, science, whatever.
Well, they threw it in the ocean.
Oh
for
my
the
gosh,
Saints.
Allen said it was the most atrocious. It is their biggest
Rick,
concern. They're not fundamentally sound. They're taking terrible angles. This is the defensive coordinator / head coach / savant of defense. They have terrible angles, no leverage, and they can't wrap up.
Let me tell you what the problem is. I'm going to tell y'all what the problem is. Playing defense, this is the problem.
Please
defensive
tell us
players
what the
get to a
problem.
point to where if you're down, you're trying to make things happen. And when doing
Put 'em
so,
on the ground.
you tend to basically mess up the fundamentals of how to tackle a person because you're trying to strip the ball, you're trying to punch the ball out, and you're not worrying about getting the guy to the ground. That's what happened. And the Saints were behind the entire game.
No, they weren't behind the entire game.
Let's
They
do like they
did
do
take a lead.
on the pregame shows, and we'll play like. I understand stripping the ball.
Yeah.
But on what universe is the right way to tackle coming in like this?
I agree, Scooter. Scooter, I agree.
Bill Arnsparger teach
No,
that?
never,
Okay.
never. Head in, face in. Look, I'm going to tell you what it all started from, Rick. The Detroit Lions was pissed off when they walked into the stadium. You know why?
Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers.
They were pissed off from when they walked into the stadium
It
because
was chippy. It was chippy. I mean, unsportsmanlike calls left and right.
Look, it's like the receiver for the Bucs, number 13. What's his name? I forget
Mike
his name.
Evans.
Mike Evans. Look.
And he was pretty calm. He was calm.
Mike Evans
He has
is
a history of that.
He does.
He and Lattimore.
Look, that's what it was, Rick. And Rick, you get to a point to where you grown men, but you want to embarrass each other. Every chance you get, Rick, you want to embarrass each other.
It got out of control.
It did, Rick.
It got out of control.
I know, Scooter, and these guys get paid millions of dollars. I mean, I'm going to mind my business. I don't want any fines.
Look,
I mean, the least fine you can get is $25,000, guys. That is the smallest fine you can get.
Let me share something with you before I throw this at somebody or something.
Don't throw it this way.
All right. They are, quick research, they are officially the worst defense in total defense in the NFL.
You're
They
saying
are
that about
dead
your
last.
Saints? Oh, my
no,
God.
they're dead
the
last
sky is
statistically.
falling.
They are
the
dead
sky
last.
is falling.
It's falling, yeah, it's falling.
For Rick
they're
to say
dead
that.
last. Yards after a contact hit and yards after
bad.
a catch.
It's bad, Rick.
I'll
It
use
is.
Allen's word. It's atrocious.
It is, Rick. It
I
is.
mean, the Buccaneers and everybody is just picking up 15, 20 yards after a catch
and
and
guys,
after a hit.
that was one thing, believe it or not, Scooter.
Atrocious.
In years past, when you had the Pat Swillings, those guys, Ricky Jackson.
That's
isn't
40
that what
years
they
ago.
You're going
I know.
memory lane,
But
man.
didn't they pride themselves on that? That's what they prided themselves on.
I don't know. I don't know what's
being
going to
one
happen.
of the best defense in the league. But
look,
now,
let me shift gears a little bit before we run out of time. I was impressed with Spencer Rattler.
I was too, Rick.
I mean,
Rick,
his
okay.
ability to
Rick,
throw
I was.
accurately
No, I
on
was
the
too.
run
I was too, Rick.
as a rookie fifth-round draft pick.
Coming into that
He
kind of
looked
pressure,
like
Rick.
Are you
somebody,
kidding
He looked like somebody making his first NFL
Yeah.
start.
He did.
But who had a little promise. I'm
He did.
with
I mean,
And I agree.
the accuracy,
I mean, yeah,
the zip
it
on
was.
the ball, his
the
calmness.
run on the throw.
He
for
made
that
some
first
bad
down
throws.
throw. I mean, but that first down throw on the run, that was pretty impressive.
I mean,
That was pretty impressive.
clearly, at least Allen and his staff knew that Spencer Rattler gave him the best chance versus, the other guy, Hank.
They did.
Go
They
ahead
did.
and see.
There's no doubt.
Jake Haney, rather.
Well,
I mean,
there's no doubt
clearly,
about that.
and,
I
and
totally
going
agree with
forward
that.
until Derek Carr gets back, I don't know, man. People are going to start
Rick,
wondering if there's a rebuild coming.
Rick, I think
My man Derek Carr might be out.
I think it'll be too late
Regardless
when
of
Derek Carr gets back.
Or Rattler, quarterback's not the same.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm so sick of hearing about injuries.
I think it'll
And
be too late.
They're
really.
real.
Oh, they're
you don't
real.
have Taysom Hill.
They're real.
You have
Yeah.
no offensive line.
3 offensive linemen out.
Just go out and play.
I'm with you, Scooter.
Derek Carter, your starter, is on the sideline. Tyrann Mathieu left the game.
It's a lot. It's a
Pete
lot of guys
Werner's
that's not
hurt
in.
again. Peyton Turner's hurt again. I mean, it's just bad mojo at the time. But no excuses. Dennis
can't have that,
Allen
Rick.
now has, and he's got a Thursday night game. We'll get into that later on in the week.
He's
the
got a
pressure
quick week.
to win this
He's-
game.
He's got a quick week.
quick
man.
week. 3 games.
He's got a quick
3 games
week.
in 11
I got
days.
something else
Yeah.
to say about that. Beyond three games in what
Yeah.
14
That
days,
should have been scheduled different than that,
something
though.
like that. No,
That's
I
pretty
got
hard.
another bitch.
I think-
Well,
get to
you
it.
might have to
I think
wait
it's
till
pretty hard.
Thursday's show or in the next
Okay.
segment. We'll stop it here. We got to get on the Cowboys in this
Oh,
open
God,
week. They're
do we
playing
really
the
have
number
to?
1 team in the Southland this coming weekend, UIW, when we round
Yes.
it up with the final round of SoundOff. Stay right here.
takes the handoff. It's a refurb.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
J&J Exterminating is here for you with our water damage sanitation treatments and wood protective borate treatments. There is no charge for home evaluations. Contact your local J&J Exterminating professional.
Now's the perfect time to enjoy your amazing backyard. Unless you have a mosquito problem, contact the experts at J&J Exterminating and take advantage of $50 off initial service. Make this summer the best ever with J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
What are you doing with the Johnson sofa?
They had a pipe break. Water leaked all over.
Really?
I'm a roto-rooter plumber.
Really?
We do water cleanup, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all. Plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup. You want to put the helmet back? I mean, come on. We got to show them some respect.
I mean, Rick,
welcome back. Final round of the show
Okay.
here. Will Wade next week. McNeese basketball. We'll get into that and so much more. Hey,
My
Alabama. Alabama quickly.
Hey.
Again, almost lost this one to South Carolina.
God.
This is a struggling. This SEC race
What is
Rick,
still
going on,
it's something
gentlemen.
else.
We got two games we'll talk more about in the Thursday
We do.
show. Two big matchups in the SEC. That's why have a little faith when it comes to LSU. We might be on to something. All right, the McNeese Cowboys had an open date. They didn't play.
No,
all right?
they
Didn't get caught up in the chaos. Micah Davey coming back.
He's coming back.
Booksy
Needed.
Sevilla coming back.
Needed, Rick.
Tristan
Needed.
Driggers coming back.
Needed.
They might be still banged up.
Very
this
needed,
is
though.
UIW. This
Rick,
is
this
the
is
best
it.
team McNeese will play all year.
They are.
And it's on the road again.
And it's on the road.
Okay, well, it better be the best McNeese team.
They better.
Getting these players, if you don't see a little more liveliness and
Intensity.
yeah. than their last
Gary
time
Goff
out,
said this has to be a physical war.
Yeah.
Because UIW is going to be physical. How about the trend here? UIW is coming off a 51-10 win over Nichols. McNeese got to get rid of this 21-point loss to Houston
that?
Christian. I mean, they knocked the socks off the
Can you
Colonels.
believe that? They beat Nichols that bad?
Zach Calzada is the
LSU
best
beat
quarterback in the league. 5 touchdown throws against Nichols. And this is a Nichols defense that going into this game was probably the best in the league.
Rick, I mean, look how he played LSU. I mean,
I know.
Come on.
This is UIW, again, at home.
I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to
Gary
leave that alone.
Goff says they're
I'm
as
not gonna touch
advertised.
that.
They are the best. We need a super physical game. You can't get behind the chains. You got all this football stuff going on. With
And
Kevin, what is it going to really come
And
down
you
to?
away? Pride.
Yeah.
Pride.
Yeah, I
Pride,
wanna see
respect.
some effort.
You got to
I
walk
didn't
on that
see
field.
it last time out.
No.
Rick, as a player, there comes a point to where you got to have self-respect for yourself and how you play, the way people look at you and comment on how you play and what you do.
They got slapped against Houston.
I understand
Christian. They
it's
got
a
to
team
forget
sport,
about it.
Scooter. But
Open
there
day.
comes a point to where you as an individual
Play with pride, play with toughness, play with intensity, and get ready because UIW.
Yeah.
This is a little mini rivalry going
That
on
is.
here. With
It
McNeese.
will be.
We're out of time. We'll see you next time from Caesars Sportsbook right here on CBS Lake Charles.